Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Ecommerce Insights. I'm your host, Scott DeGrossier, founder and CEO of Wicked Reports. Today we're going to talk about the speed of data, real-time data versus delayed data, what's important or not as it relates to optimizing your marketing and marketing attribution. Specifically, we're going to talk about the current real-time data available in Facebook, Google, and Amazon. We're going to talk about conversion data uploading speed, when you need to get it up there fast, when you don't, and some misconceptions in the market around this topic. This is really important if you're feeding conversion data into the ad platforms and expecting the AI to optimize for you. First of all, it's machine learning, not AI, but I digress. Then we're going to talk about real-time data issues that people are frankly ignorant about. And then marketing attribution data. How fast do you need it? And how do you use it to act? First, let's talk about Amazon. Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world. They now have Amazon attribution. Wicked Reports becoming an Amazon attribution partner, going through that process right now. And they clearly state the previous 48 hours of Amazon attribution reporting should be considered partial or incomplete. So as for wanting real-time data to optimize your Amazon account based on attribution, it's not possible from Amazon. They're up to 2 days delayed. So for those of you saying, I need real-time data for Amazon attribution, well, it doesn't actually exist from Amazon. So there's that. Now Facebook. Now, Facebook has had to undergo a lot of pain and stress due to iOS 14.5. You know, it's been tough, but at the same time, Facebook's still been a phenomenal resource for buying traffic. It's just they've got some limitations that have been placed on them from Apple, unfortunately. So in Facebook's guidance, they have said the following related to real-time reporting. Real-time reporting will not be supported and data may be delayed up to 3 days. For web conversion events, statistical modeling may be used to account for conversions from iOS 14 users. And then also with the time windows, the default is 7-day click, 1-day view. Anything longer will not be allowed. Now we'll get into some specifics around when you feed Facebook data, what it needs, but this is just from the reporting point of view right now. With Google has performance data, isn't available instantly, and some metrics are only updated once a day. Now, let's look at which metrics are evaluated and how long you might have to wait. For 3 hours delay, you can get clicks and impressions and last click conversions. There's a 15-hour delay for non-last click conversions. There's a 6-hour delay for auction insights, impression share, and search terms. And then there's 1 day and 11 hours delay for reach metrics. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of different delays and times based on the stats. That's tricky. Point is, what I really want to summarize here before we move on to other topics is that sometimes people get really fixated on wanting real-time data. And they've never actually had it. All those things I mentioned, this isn't some secret info. In Google, right at the bottom of your campaign data, it says results are not real time. And if you click, you'll get some of those same exact time frames I just told you. For Facebook, they emailed every advertiser and told them this. And there is alerts in the tool, if you know where to look, that are reminding you of the data delays that I'm mentioning. And then with Amazon, they're saying Amazon just does whatever they want, right? They can. And they're like, hey, it's going to be up to 2 days. That's from the source themselves. You're not getting real-time data and you've never had it. Or in Facebook's case, maybe you did have it, now you don't. So that means that as a marketing attribution platform, you cannot give real-time data because it's not available. So for those of you that, hey, I really needed real-time data. No, you didn't. You never had it. Just never mind what the other reasons and strategic reasons why sometimes data can take time for you to have the right action appear as to how to optimize your campaigns. just dealing from the big three in our world here, they don't give it out. So let's look at now the second topic related to today's pod, which is when you're importing conversion data into the platforms themselves. Now, there's two things to consider. One is like, what does the machine learning need to best optimize your performance? And then secondly, for the platforms where customer lifetime value is important, or at least your campaigns or strategies where lifetime value is important, how does that affect the conversion data you're uploading, how fast and how available it is, and how exactly is it used? I've been fortunate in my position at Wicked Reports. I've talked to people behind the algorithms or the product managers of the products themselves with some very detailed use cases. In particular, because my contention has always been it would be fantastic if the marketing attribution data could just automatically act for you. But you need the algorithms to actually assess and act on the data in a way that supports your goals. And so what I've found is that isn't always the case. And so let's get into that right now. So in terms of Facebook. Now, I had a Facebook engineer tell me once, we're all about customer lifetime value. We love customer lifetime value data. However, they want clicks and conversion data as fast as possible, ideally within the hour that the conversion occurred. And if you can't get it to them within the hour for whatever reason, they need to have it within a day. And they warn that if it's longer than 2 days, it could be bad for the pixel to get data. Not other endpoints, but the pixel. So this is puzzling to me because if you have customer lifetime value data, that means lifetime. We're not going to manage the campaigns our whole lives. Hopefully, we're going to move on to other things. But the value can take time to occur between the click, particularly when you're running cold top of the funnel traffic on campaigns on Facebook, which you should be, because it's a phenomenal source for cold traffic that becomes high value customers. However, the conversion may take place 1 to 2 weeks out, a month out that you're trying to get to, and Facebook needs it within an hour. But the click that they're trying to optimize for is days earlier. So that's a really puzzling requirement that they have. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that is how their algorithms currently want the data. They want data within an hour. And so for Wicked Reports, we send lead conversions within an hour if you turn that feature on. If you're using Shopify or WooCommerce, they will wire up the conversions to the Facebook pixel near real time. And so you do get the speed of data you need there. And that's where you need the speed. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to optimize for the ultimate goal you want, but it's what the pixel wants to do its job. Let's contrast that with Google. We actually lost an account that was very hell-bent on real-time conversion data in the platforms and insisted they had to have it, which, if that works for them, that's great. However, Google's product managers have said sending in a conversion within an hour wouldn't even work. It's too fast for their optimizing. The soonest you can upload is 3 to 4 hours after an ad click, or you'll get an error message. It's too soon. So, in this accomplished ad buyer who still does well, so it's working for him, but Google's saying, hey, you can't send data greater than 3 to 4 hours in. We don't even want it. Because too fast, if the conversion data comes too fast, this is a quote, it shocks the system and creates volatility. Now, as someone who's a former day trader, volatility can be great when you're trading and you're on the right side of that volatility. But when you're on the wrong side of it and you're creating volatility that you don't want and aren't aware of the consequences, that's how, as a day trader, you can lose your shirt. And that's how, as an advertiser, you don't want that. You want predictable results. The only volatility you want is when it's going up, right? And smart bidding from Google, it likes routines. It likes a consistent, methodical drumbeat of data coming in consistently once a day. And then it reconsiders, assesses, runs it through a bunch of models that take time, These aren't always real-time things. The auction's a real-time decision, but the factors that go into it have a lot of data built up. And so when you send in conversions, they want them once a day. They want consistency, most importantly. That's not a real-time use case again. So here it is. You're trying to get the data in as fast as you can. Well, no, Google says, no, we don't want it as fast as you can. We want it consistent. So not everyone would know that. I didn't know that. I was pleasantly surprised and relieved that the solution we built is exactly what they want, because we built it with Google. So I hope they would, steer us right. And of course they did. So that was great. Now, data speed and availability, when you're thinking about that, I always like to think, and I used to make this mistake, we really need this feature. We really need this thing in Wicked Reports. And what we now are better at doing, partly with the help of my great team, is that what are we trying to get done with this? What's the job to be done? How's it going to benefit our customers or make their life easier or make our data more valuable? Not just being hell-bent on something because you think you need it. And this mindset or approach really works well when you're looking at real-time data. Because what are you trying to do? Well, what we hope you're trying to do with our data is optimize your campaigns using marketing attribution to increase your return on investment on your ad spend and to maximize your revenue. That's what we want you to be able to do. And so when you're trying to do that, it's about strategic gains using the correct data and allowing clicks to turn into conversions or not over time, and finding out if the lifetime value or the short-term customer value, if you will, is worth the spend it costs. And if it is, do more of it. And if not, do less. And now that's where real-time makes almost no sense to me that you would want. And let's just take a very simple example. Let's use our good old lobster guy, getmainelobster.com. Let's say they have one Facebook campaign and they have two different ad sets they're targeting. Someone who likes tuna and someone who likes sushi. Arguably going to be the same person, right? But go with me here, a simple one. Okay, so there's no real-time conversion data to begin with. So Facebook isn't real-time optimizing because it's a slight delay, but the reporting back is going to be delayed. So you're going to try to push the sales conversions in using, let's say, your Shopify or WooCommerce integration. But from our marketing attribution perspective, we're trying to say, hey, are those ad sets leading to high ROI? So that generally is something that people can take time to buy. And, I'm sure you're a great Facebook advertiser, and I'm sure you can convert some people fast. Great. But you're converting even more people than you think over time. And I know this because that was the origin story of Wicked Reports was advertiser spent $5,000 and broke even over 30 days. Never mind over real intraday, he lost money every day. Over 30 days, he broke even. But 3 months out, he made 10 to 1 on his money. And that was because conversions take time to buy. And so if you're using the real-time mindset and you're just trying to react to things real time, you're not seeing the forest through the trees, which is leads can take time to become value, or clicks, I should say, not even leads. Clicks can take time to have value. And if you're making decisions real time on immediate click to purchase, you're losing that value that could be occurring 30, 60, or 90 days out. And because you're doing that, and because you're not spending based on lifetime value, or let's just say 90-day value or 30-day value, if you can only handle that long, you're moving on from targeting that may be wildly profitable. And the person that stays eye on the prize of, hey, I want to see how these clicks accrue value over a 30-day window or a 60-day window, may be pleasantly surprised that they're making 3, 5, 6 to 1. And they can then double down and continue to invest on this cold traffic because their competition is doing the same thing and not seeing the value. They're doing the short term. Are they buying right away? And then you have this long-term value that you're able to attribute, and so you can crush it. Think about when you go into your Klaviyo or ActiveCampaign drip instance and you see a bunch of emails that went out and clicks that made sales. Where do you think those email sales came from? You had to get the person on your list to begin with. And the click that got them on the list before they bought off that email down the road Well, if you're using real-time data, you don't think that traffic's valuable because you don't see the immediate sales conversion. I would say that's one of the number one things marketing attribution can give you, is that visibility into cold top of the funnel traffic that takes time to buy. And so that doesn't involve real-time data. We don't want to steer you wrong real-time because the ad platforms don't have real-time data. The costs don't come in real time. And so we can't give you the accurate ROI real time, but more importantly, your accurate ROI happens over days, weeks, or months. It doesn't happen intra-hour. So we're not willing to do that and risk steering you wrong. So I hope this is very cathartic for me. So I appreciate you listening, but I also want you to know that the time frame of the data really matters, and focusing on real-time results intra-hour or intraday is marketing attribution gives you your edge because you can see longer and see top down how everything plays together. And that's not something even available real time, nor with the insights that we're designed to give. They're constructed to need time. That's the edge you get, is the delayed time you take to analyze rather than the real-time reactions you do through some short-term fluctuations. So thanks for listening. Hope this was helpful. Bye.